order the regular Park Board meeting for November 19th, 2013 to order. Shall I please call the roll?
Riley.
Here.
Boyles.
Here.
Tillman.
Here.
Gray.
Here.
Callahan.
Here. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Yeah.
Any items to be added, removed, or changed on the agenda?
Yes, we need to remove from the agenda approval of minutes for the Special Park School Board meeting. I need to send those to you. And add land acquisition to executive session.
Land acquisition is 2C.
It doesn't matter. Try to find it.
Okay. I think you're correct. Okay.
Thank you.
So I'd entertain a motion to approve the agenda as amended.
So moved. Second.
Okay, motion by Falls, second by Tillman. Any further discussion? Please call the roll.
Riley.
Aye.
Boyles.
Aye.
Tillman.
Aye.
Gray.
Aye.
Callahan.
Aye, motion carries. Okay, next item on the agenda is our consent agenda. So I would entertain a motion to establish the consent agenda as follows. The approval of the regular minutes for the regular board meeting of October 15th, approval of the minutes of the executive session for October 15th, approval of the minutes for the special board meeting of November 7th, approval of the paid expenditures, unpaid expenditures, treasurer's report, approval of purchases, and approval of resolution number 222, approving and authorizing the execution of a second amended and restated declaration of trust, and approval of ordinance 328, authorizing the sale of certain surplus personal property.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Tillman, second by Gray. Any further discussion? Shall I please call the roll?
Tillman.
Aye.
Gray.
Aye.
Riley.
Aye.
Boyles.
Aye.
Callahan.
Aye, motion carries. So I entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda as established.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Tillman, second by Gray. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next item on the agenda is guests' matters from the public. No one wishing to address the board this evening? Okay, moving on. Next item is matters from the commissioners. Any comments commissioners would like to make this time?
I got nothing.
You got nothing? All right.
No.
Fair enough. Okay, then next item on the agenda is correspondence. And if you give me a minute here to get to my section of the agenda here. We've received, we have, I'd like to acknowledge two pieces of correspondence. One letter from Eric Meerning, Tiger Scout leader of Den 5, Pack 103. An appreciation of time and effort given by the Depot Museum staff for their tour, their group, and also a letter from the Batavia Library inviting Executive Director Niemela to serve as guest reader at this year's Celebration of Lights. Very nice. Thank you very much.
It was the
Put
night
those-
before Christmas.
Yeah. Oh, very good. Okay. Next item on the agenda is announcements.
Thank you, President Callahan.
You're very welcome.
The holiday lights will be shining bright in downtown Batavia on Sunday, December 1st at the Celebration of Lights Festival. Discover the magic of the season with free tractor-pulled wagon rides, a tree lighting ceremony, a community sing-along, bake sale, free roasted chestnuts, story hour, and more. Free holiday gifts will be given out by Santa to children under the age of 10 while supplies last. This free family event will be held from 5:30 to 7 p.m. at the Riverwalk. Santa Claus is coming to town, so make sure you don't miss your chance to meet him at Batavia Park District's Breakfast with Santa. All family members are welcome on Saturday, December 7th at 8:30 a.m. at Shannon Hall, located at 14 North Van Buren Street. Boys and girls will get a chance to talk to Santa and take a photo with the Jolly Guy before receiving a special present. Pre-registration is required, so please be sure to sign up early. Santa, Mrs. Claus, and their favorite North Pole helpers are taking time out of their busy schedule to call your little ones. Parents register at the Park District Civic Center, 327 West Wilson Street, by 5 p.m. on Wednesday, December 9th, for your child's very own telephone call, which they will receive between 5:30 and 7 p.m. on Thursday, December 10th. For more information on any of these events, please visit our website at bataviaparks.org or call us at 879-5235.
Great, thank you very much. Next item on the agenda is affiliate reports, and this evening we have Batavia Youth Baseball with us. I don't know who's going to speak, John, so you? All right.
Yes, good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Trying to put this on the screen.
Aaron usually both Johns.
The good news is I either have to face this way and then my back's to the camera, or I have to face this
Actually,
way.
I would suggest you go to the podium,
Yeah, go to the
because
podium.
that way she can get you both, and we can hear you.
Yeah.
I was worried about the profile.
Just say,
You can hide it behind the,
you know, you can say ding, or, you know, advance,
That
whatever.
would help me a lot.
The one before?
One, that would help me see.
there you go. Yep, good to go.
Can you see it? Okay, great.
All right, good evening. Thanks for having us in for our annual update report, and so kind of put together a little summary of kind of current year. Some of it's a little background, historical stuff, and then some new things that have been going on. But first of all, I'd like to start out saying thank you very much for Park District support. Allison, you and your staff, Jeff and Eric and Jim, and then Ryan McCauley, new athletic supervisor, just done a really good job this year. And in a true partnership fashion, we've good lines of communication, back and forth on fields. And if you remember last year, a lot of rain and stuff, and so we had to move some things around. But I think the process went very well, and look forward to obviously continuing that. So I'll just start out kind of talk a little bit about our mission. And we're obviously this is kind of baseball specific here. We're trying to teach kids how to play baseball. Our programs are available for kids anywhere from 6 to 17 years old. More than baseball, it's kind of good sportsmanship, how to be a good teammate and all that stuff. Our goal is always to kind of get kids ready for that next level. We keep playing baseball if they want to keep playing baseball. That's a measurement of our success. If you step back, besides just the mission-specific part of our job, we're really here, just like the Park District is, to serve the community. And our goal is to meet the needs of the community and try and serve the whole spectrum of needs as it pertains to baseball. And I'll touch on that as we kind of go through here. So, thanks, John. Thanks. So just a little bit of background, and this kind of a little sensitive there. Okay, so we've been at it for a while, which is longevity is really a cool part of what we do. A lot of tradition. So 58 years or so since the 50s, providing baseball programs for Batavia. We are an exclusive program for residents of Batavia, residents of the Park District School District, and Moose Heart. So that is unique to some other programs, but that's per our bylaws, and that's what we focus on. And you can kind of see enrollments there. We've had a dip over the last few years. Most of it's probably driven by census and just less kids at the younger ages coming in, and I'm sure the Park District's seen that as well. If you folks have any data that can share and make us smarter, that would certainly help. When we do our budget, we're obviously a zero-sum game, so it's always nice to try and get as accurate as we can in terms of projecting our census. But I think we're kind of hopefully stabilizing a little bit there. Most of it's due to census. There's obviously a lot more options for kids in terms of different sports, and the economy is probably still having a little bit of an impact as well. So it's some combination thereof, but not an exact science as well. So if you have questions as I go through here, please just let me know. Background, this kind of gets to meeting the needs of the whole community, something that we focus on. We provide, most of our kids play during the summer league, but we also have a fall baseball league too. We have three main areas of play, in-house recreational leagues, travel and tournament teams, and then a power league. And I'll touch on those each in a little more detail. But last year we had over, about 900 players, a little over 900 players, roughly about 75 teams, and we play all our programs are played on 16 different fields throughout the town. We're governed by board of directors. We're very, very fortunate to have a great group of folks that volunteer their time. Right now we have about 25 positions that are filled. Basically broken up into kind of baseball operations and support services. Baseball operations are all the field maintenance, equipment, uniforms, sponsorships, all that type of stuff. And baseball operations is the running and managing the leagues and the teams and all that. You can see some of the background there if you flip, John, to the next page. We just recently started our new fiscal year, which means we have elections. We're very fortunate. Again, over the years we've had most board members serve for multiple terms, which really shows kind of the dedication that we see, not only for baseball in this town, but all our sports, which is just really phenomenal. We've had a crew of new folks come on board, just started here last month, which is great. Some new energy and new enthusiasm, and you can see all the different roles there, and it really kind of helps us get a lot done when we have a lot of different people volunteering their time and really splitting up everything we do, because it's a pretty large undertaking. All right, a little bit on the financial side. We're a 501(c) nonprofit. As I mentioned before, we're kind of a zero-sum budget, so we project how much revenue we're going to take in, and we plan on putting that all back into the program. We also have a Fields for the Future fee, which is a portion of our annual registration fee that goes towards future investments, building new fields, major field renovations, and that type of thing. And we've last couple of years we've tried to have a little more PR, get the word out about our scholarship program, which is modeled after the Park District's program. So our goal is never to deny a child the opportunity to play baseball. So there's application process and scholarships available for families in need. This is just a listing of fields. I think everybody's familiar with it, but we couldn't do what we do without cooperation of our partners. So a couple from the city, Moose Lodge and the school district, and obviously the main bulk of our support and partnership comes via the Park District with 9 different fields. 4 kind of dedicated fields that we've made major investment in over the years, and then some shared fields such as Memorial, Prairie Latham, Angstrom, and Brayburn. So one of the things that, if John, if you flip to the next one too, I just kind of wanted to show the board a little bit about, if you remember back 3 or 4 years ago, we got a lot of feedback of, boy, your fields aren't in good shape, and you got to do better, and some of those calls came right to the Park District. And our fields get a lot of play. We play a lot of baseball games over a short period of time, and they get a lot of wear and tear, and especially some of the premium fields that have grass infields. And we've really made a commitment over the last few years to invest in those fields, both from an ongoing maintenance perspective as well as major renovations. And I looked at, these are probably our 3 main fields that we've invested in over the last 2 years. And what this table shows is, so Prairie Path Field, which is near the middle school, West Main, which is way out west, and Clark Island right over here by the river. And the first row there shows kind of the average annual 2-year maintenance cost that we've invested in those fields. So that's just routine kind of expense maintenance to maintain those in good conditions, and field mix and all the stuff that's required to be able to maintain and play baseball. And then the second row is kind of over that 2-year period, the total dollars that we put into the fields in terms of major renovations. That could be like fence repairs, cutting out lips, leveling the field, re-leveling the field. So you can see that, Prairie Path over a 2-year period, we put almost $25,000 into. West Main, Don Clark Field out there, over $32,000, and Clark Island Woodard, over $21,000. So it's a lot of money that's going back into the program to to maintain, good quality fields for folks participating in our programs. And again, West Main and Clark Island are both fields that have lights too, so they get kind of extra play too, so. I just got to highlight a little bit on our 3 leagues. I'll start out with the Power League. This year we have a new board member come on board, and she's done a great job kind of reviving this league a little bit. It's basically for physically and mentally challenged youth, and this is the one league that's kind of open to any youth that wants to participate. And so this year we afforded them some more opportunities in terms of practice time once a week in addition to a game, and we got a lot of volunteers out there helping, and they even played a couple games with other communities. So it's a real cool experience. The kids really love it. They use this kind of buddy system, so people are out there helping them play. And it's if you've never seen a game, it's pretty cool. We like doing it, and Katie's done a great job with the Power League. A little bit about our in-house leagues. This is where the bulk of our players are, and this is really designed for kids that want to play baseball and still do other stuff and have a balanced time commitment. I'll call it. It starts in kindergarten and first grade within our instructional leagues. Rookie league in second grade. Those are both kind of non-competitive, where we're teaching baseball, gradually building into it. Minors is when it first starts getting a little competitive. And third and fourth graders there start introducing the baseball rules. Majors, fifth and sixth grade, obviously they're kind of playing a lot more close to real baseball, 70-foot base paths. And then pony, seventh and eighth graders, kind of almost full baseball, except they're 80-foot base paths. And then Colt, which is available for high school kids, freshmen, juniors, freshmen, sophomores, and juniors that are playing high school competitive baseball, but they still have an opportunity to play competitive baseball against other towns. So doing a lot to re-energize, keep the in-house league energized. As I mentioned, kids have a lot of options these days, so we want to make sure that, again, we're meeting their needs and making sure they understand all they get out of the programs. Such things as running more clinics. We have all-star games. We've done games with crosstown rivalry with Geneva and stuff like that. So we're really trying to kind of do more to spice up that program and keep the kids engaged and keep it exciting for them. So that's a little bit about in-house. I'll breeze over some of the travel tournament teams. You can kind of read this. I think you all have a copy of this too. But this is just a little bit background on our travel program, which offers kids the opportunity to play at a little higher level. We have basically 2 teams at each level this year, starting at 9 years old, so 9 through 14. So there's 12 teams, and this kind of just goes a little background. We put a lot of time and effort into this. Obviously this travel gets a lot of focus. It's a lot of time and attention, a little more money involved from a parent's perspective in this. So we make sure this is run well, run independently from picking coaches, evaluating coaches, and all that type of thing. So go ahead, John. I think you can. And I think kind of know some of this. The tournament teams is an area that we have 2 aspects of travel. One is full-time teams that play starting in spring and through midsummer, and then there's tournament teams, and this is kind of a hybrid program where kids can play in-house and then also play at a competitive level for some additional games. Usually on the weekends, they'll have some extra practices, but it gives them a good way to kind of dip their toe in the water, see if they really like it, see if they want to do more. But it's not as full commitment, both time-wise and financially, as a full-time travel team. So, and again, our goal with all travel is to kind of, again, meet the needs of the community. We'll have as many teams as we can field that meet the kind of standards of that level of play. As long as we have field capacity and good qualified coaches, we're open to meeting all the needs of the community. All right. And that about wraps it up. So John's with me today. John Zavula is our new Director of Baseball Operations. John, thanks for coming here. Our phone numbers are down there. Mike Tassa, Director of Support Services, and Mike and Chris LaRoe work a lot with Eric and his staff in terms of field maintenance and everything there. So I think that's all we have, unless there's any questions or...
Board, any questions, comments?
Do great things.
All All right, well, again, we'd just like to thank you for all your support. Again, I also thank you and your staff, and Jeff, Eric, and Jim, and everybody, and we look forward to our off-season. We're busy planning, but we're getting ready for next year already, so I'm looking forward to continuing to work with everybody, and
It's our pleasure.
see you outside.
It's our pleasure. And I do have to let the board know that John Aroni's son was credited with a save at the quarry this summer as well.
That's right. Full disclosure. right?
Well, John, we always appreciate the update. You do a very thorough job giving us an idea of what you've done, what you're doing, and we certainly appreciate the partnership and its continued success. So thanks very much for
Well,
coming out.
Thank you very much, and if no other questions, I'm going to ask about me. So.
All right.
Go Bulldogs.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, great. Next item on the agenda is staff reports. Any updates, staff?
I guess I will start. Two updates coming down the pike recently, actually this week, is I've been working with Jeff, working on the new budget process for the new fiscal year, getting some budgeting techniques down for his staff, getting things moving along because their first budget is due at the beginning of next month. So we're working on some techniques to get a little better numbers, stronger numbers, so we can present those coming up beginning of next year. The other thing is I'm working on an RFP for auditors, our auditing services. I hope this to be presented to the board in January, on the caveat that I will have Jim be presenting it for me because I will not be at the January or February board meeting. It is my last semester as a student for the MPA program at Northern Illinois University, and it is a required class. It's 8 weeks long, and it's on a Tuesday. So Allison's allowed me not to be here for 2 board meetings. So Jim will be my step-in.
Well, I'm so pleased that we're looking into new auditing services that, as long as that machine keeps moving ahead, we're fine.
And that's all I have.
Well, I was going to update you on our quarry project, and I put 3 sets of pictures out, so you guys have to share, please. That's the new moisture shield material on the decking that serves the tower, the dive tower. It is really excellent. We're really pleased with how it looks and how it feels. And after all the rain this weekend, we didn't have anything standing anywhere, so.
Is it like the plastic? Like
It's
the
exactly
plastic
what
stuff
we're
they're
using
putting
down on the boardwalk.
Okay.
Yep, same product. Different colors, obviously, but same product. And it really is, the carpenters are even saying it's nice to work with. So.
Concealed fasteners?
It's a screw fastener, yes.
Concealed, or?
No.
I can't tell from this.
No, it's just driven down, just recessed. Yeah, into it. It's a special kind of a splitless one. It's kind of different configuration to it. I hadn't really seen it before, but I really want to update you. Just around supper time, we got an email from Proderma that.
Oh, you're stealing my thunder.
Oh, do you want to say?
No, please.
Oh.
Please do.
We got our loss control review final score for the overall score, and we had a 96.11 out of 100. So that qualifies us for the rebate at the end of the year.
$1,500.
$1,500.
Back to the district.
We'll come back. So this is,
Very good.
we've done it about the last 3 times for sure, so, yeah, we're really happy.
Outstanding.
Yes, all of the sections that we had to do were 95% and above, so, yeah, we're really proud. And Jen, who can't be here to take any of the credit, but we have to give some,
Jen's
she
our
did a
human
great
resources.
job coordinating. Once she got on board, she pushed very hard.
Yes, because we went through a lot of that process without having a human resources manager. So I have to give Jim Eby credit because I appointed him as the interim safety manager during that time period, and he really took it and ran with it. So kudos to Jim and the safety committee.
Safety committee as well.
Well done.
Yep, thank you.
Well, I'll hold it. I'll hold this until everybody gives their updates, if there's any more updates.
Yeah, a couple things real quick for me. As in my report, we're making our final push on the leaves. Obviously, the weather we had over this past weekend didn't help our efforts, but we're pushing through with that, and we're making a final prep for the snow equipment. And I just wanted to take this opportunity to wish you all a thankful Thanksgiving. We
you
all
very
have
much.
lots to be thankful for.
We do. Thank you.
Thank you.
My update is, As Carrie was saying, we have quite a few special events going on right now. We'll be setting up tomorrow, the entire staff for Celebration of Lights, so hopefully we have good weather for that. And then we have the Breakfast with Santa in about a week, also Polar Express that we run out of the Train Museum in South Elgin. We're still doing that, and we've got three full trains for that. Last month, we had the Haunted Quarry, which we had pretty good attendance for, considering the weather wasn't great every single one of the nights, and we competed with 2 home football games. So they did a really good job with that. We're working on believe it or not, we're working on the budget for the quarry already for next summer. So we're trying to put the first draft together for that. And we started a new middle school girls basketball program for the middle schoolers between now and when their season starts in January. So we're competing, we're playing with Winfield, Warrenville, and Geneva Park districts. So that's my update. Thank you.
Great.
To piggyback what Jeff said on the quarry, Amber and I met, and we are going to be sending out a survey to all season pass holders this year. We want to kind of gauge them and see what they thought about the hours, a couple other amenities that we have, and just to get ideas from them from what they would like to see next year, since they're the ones who use it the most consistently. So that will be going out soon. So if you were season pass holders, you may be getting that. Today I had my monthly office staff meeting, and I invited Sandy, who's I believe her title is Director of Recreation over at Fox Valley Special Rec. She came in to do a training with the office staff on dealing with participants or parents who have children who need special accommodations for their children, in terms of what you can say, what you can't say, just from a customer service angle, in handling those types of participants. So she welcomed the opportunity to come speak to frontline staff. She said that was the first time that she had been asked to do that, and she thought that was very progressive of us to have that type of training. So she said that we are one of her favorites to work with, so that was very nice to hear. Yeah. I'm sure she says it to all the agencies. It was really nice to hear, though, that she enjoyed being able to come and talk to the frontline staff, and she gave us some very valuable resources that staff can keep up front in terms of, like I said, what you can say, what you can't say, to be sensitive to that topic. So, and then lastly, if you saw on our Facebook page, Kathy Friedland has kind of spearheaded an effort to gather donations to go to Washington, Illinois this weekend. One of our fitness participants, her family's actually from Washington, and her son owns a trucking company. So he has offered to this weekend take a truckload down to Washington. So we have received an overwhelming response from patrons. So our front office is full of donations currently. So that truck will be going down. So if you guys would like to donate anything, the list is on our Facebook page of things that are being collected.
We've had over 100 shares of that Facebook post.
Yeah, and like 9,000 people it's reached, basically, which is so far our highest that we've ever posted.
Wonderful. Great, thank you. Kudos to staff for that, and some forward thinking. Great. Okay. Board, do you have any comments on staff reports?
No.
Okay, I just have one. The deck looks great, but it does begin to show the other elements in a different light. So it's not all aging now the same way. Are there any plans for any of the balusters or railings?
Those were solid, so.
I'm not from a structural perspective, just
Right.
from an appearance perspective.
Oh, absolutely. I think down the line, we are going to be looking at utilizing probably some of this same kind of material. That's not been discussed for this next year, but it is on the list for down the line.
Any interim opportunities?
Stain or
I mean,
I
just
have
some
to ask.
stain to, I mean, you know what I'm saying? I mean, not even replacing, just, yes, aesthetically.
Here's my
looking.
fear,
Just-
we invest in the decking, and the
Right.
patrons come back, and they,
From an aesthetics
give us
standpoint.
poor marks because it all doesn't look nice.
Right.
But I mean, if it's structurally sound, I mean, I think you can do some semi-transparent stains with a little color additive, I mean, just to clean it up a little bit for
Yeah, we
the
did talk about
season.
painting or staining. We did talk about
I would not
that.
recommend painting.
Yeah.
That's my naive suggestion.
Yeah. But anyway, I think it looks great. I just,
Yeah, it really does.
yeah. Anyway, give that some consideration, I think.
Something we will, as Jeff's putting his budget together, why we'll
All right, there you go.
Yeah.
spend some of that.
There you go.
Couple gallons of stain in the budget.
There you go.
The gym's in the finance department now, so you can get a copy of that.
One of those training days for the lifeguards.
Pick up a brush.
All right, great. Okay, so next item on the agenda is Executive Director's Report. Allison, any updates for us?
Well, hopefully all of you had a chance to look over my board briefs. And I just wanted to again reiterate a thank you to staff about safety training. We are very diligent on CPR and first aid training, and the fact that we had 3 employees, Eric Locker, Nick John Donato, and Gary Motika, that did, in a team effort, save another employee's life. And I just wanted to publicly thank them for their outstanding efforts. And no one ever thinks it's going to happen to someone they know, especially someone they work along the side with, that people make up excuses in their own heads to why people look a certain way or act a certain way, but they knew to call 911, and they made the right choice.
Thank you.
Outstanding.
Thank you. Board, any comments on the Executive Director's Report?
I don't have any.
Okay. All right. Next time on the agenda, we can skip.
Nope.
No, that's why you're
Nope.
procrastinating.
This is, yeah.
No.
It was an unusually long pause waiting for any comments from us. But no, this is.
I'm going to
this
go to
is
the
all I do
podium
right
for
here.
this one.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
You're not skipping nothing here, mister. Postponed from last week.
Yeah, I know. I was hoping it would show up on the agenda.
Cake last month.
Yeah, that's good. Okay. We hit your cake.
Well, I'm glad you did.
You're not going to say what it is that we're getting ready to do.
Okay. I'm not going to say it.
Next up on the agenda is 13A, presentations, recognition of Pat Callahan's 15 years of service on the Park Board. Allison?
Thank you, Vice President Selman.
You're welcome. Allison? There. Mr.
Well,
Mayor.
I'm going to gloat over Pat here for a little bit before calling him up. So it's up to you if you rather stay there.
Why don't you go stand there? Go stand up there.
Okay.
There you go. Thank you. Thank you.
Take this with you. Like to gavel the meeting to a quick close?
That's right. That's right.
Pat Callahan, he's been on the board since 1998. He is a very creative problem solver, a strategic thinker, and one of the most loyal and dedicated people I know. He always has the community's best interest in mind, and for that we appreciate. During his tenure, he has endured a 35% growth in park acreage, approximately 142 acres, 2 referendums, the development of the Capital Development Program and the Capital Improvement Program, 3 master plans, 3 executive directors, and who knows how many sleepless nights. So it's my great pleasure to give to Pat this certificate of appreciation on behalf of the Batavia Park District.
Thank you.
Very nice. Oh, yeah. I got a
You get the
cupcake?
cupcake even though the cake was very delicious.
Right.
Okay.
I actually ate the piece that was cut for you, just so you know.
Said Pat.
Said Pat right on it. It was awesome, yeah.
Well, actually, I'll wait till I get back.
But Pat, thank you for all you do. And usually by now, we need to think of what room we're going to name after you, because
Oh, no.
Right.
by now it's usually
No.
How about a
J. Murphy Jim, J. Murphy wasn't on the board that long.
No, well, thank you very
You got
much.
that, didn't you?
We've got the quarry named after Harold Hall.
That was not necessary, but thank you very much. I have to say just a couple of things. First and foremost, I have to thank my family for giving me the opportunity to spend time away from them and sometimes significant time away from them. They have been very gracious. I hope my wife doesn't watch this because it'll just be a very hard reminder. No, but it has been a joy and a pleasure to serve with all of you and to serve this community. You don't accomplish anything if you don't try, and I believe that very sincerely. And while things don't always turn out the way you hope or expect, I think the effort that you put forth demonstrates to the community that you're at least trying to move in the right direction. You can never serve everyone individually because there's so many diverse opinions and certainly directions people want the Park District to go. But I think by and large, we've demonstrated as a group, and this is certainly not just me, as a group, that this community likes what we're doing, thinks we're moving generally in the right direction, and I think that's the best that any public entity can really hope to do for its community. Sometimes we try to push a little too hard, a little too fast, and I, for one, am a firm believer that you have to push a little bit to get people to think beyond where they're currently at. And I will promise you that I will continue to nudge and not push too hard, but I want to thank you all for serving with me. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, next item on the agenda.
You don't want to do that one again?
No. Thank you.
15 more years, we'll do it again.
Yeah, okay.
And he still has 5 years
And
in
you started when you
addition.
were 21, right? That's-
Seems like that little 5-year pin came like yesterday.
You first got on board at 21, right?
That's right, exactly right.
Just making sure.
Right.
That's right.
Oh, did you hear, Eric? Was that coming under old business?
No, it preceded old business. But thanks very much for thinking of me. Can always count on you, Eric.
Yeah.
We have to be the most fun municipal channel to watch.
We at least the most
Municipal
entertaining.
meeting, yeah.
Our ratings are through the roof.
All right, next item on the agenda is 15A, new business tax levy discussion. Who's going to lead this one?
That would be me.
All righty.
As we spoke at the special board meeting on November 7th, we talked about two things with, and I'm going to kind of do a quick recap because President Callahan and Vice President Tillman were not there. So we
At
had
the beginning of the meeting.
The beginning of the meeting, right. So I kind of wanted to go back to what we were originally talking about during that meeting is, first thing we talked about was EAV. We do have numbers from the county. They are estimated. They're down about 4.5% compared to last year. That is actually the same as the year before, was also down 4.5%. The bright side to that is TIF 2, which is out on the corner of Farnsworth and 56, is currently closed, which means all that EAV that has been growing for 23 years is coming back to us. So that's $12 million that's going to come back to us, and we are able to capture and levy against. So that is a good positive, great way to go. And the second thing is we also have $3.8 million in new construction, which is actually up from last year as well. So kind of offsets the decrease in EAV a little bit. So we are doing very well with the EAV, at least in that regards, staying steady. Hopefully next year will be a little bit better. I also did talk about the timeline, which is behind me, talk about the tax levy and the and when everything is going to be issued. Would the two of you like me to go over that? No? Okay. I just want to make sure everyone understood that. So which
Well, I
one
mean,
is-
if John does.
No, I'll actually offline it, I'll do it. We don't need to do it now.
Okay.
So.
Okay, I just want to make sure. So what I presented to you in the memo was a current levy of 2.15%, which is over and above the beyond the cap of 1.7, but that is to capture that $12 million of new AAV and the $3.8 million of construction.
Okay, I'm gonna put
Okay.
you on hold right there just for a second, because I think it's important for our viewing audience to understand what you're talking about.
Okay.
So a TIF, a Tax Increment Finance District, was established on Butterfield Road in Farnsworth.
Yes.
And for 23 years, it's basically been off the tax rolls that we haven't collected any more increment beyond what we collected the day the TIF went in place. So all the growth that occurred in that TIF district went to the TIF district in an effort to try to spur and use those resources for development. So what we're saying now is we are going to basically bring that back on the tax rolls in the next fiscal year, right? Not this current fiscal year, but
For
next
collections of, yes.
at the current rate, right? Isn't that so now we're able to tax it or collect taxes at the current rate, which helps offset or defray some of the other things that are happening with CPI. So now basically we're normalizing our property value back and taking the TIF back in as we do all the other property that's not in a TIF. Did I explain that correctly?
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's perfect.
So, now that I lost my train of
But
thought.
at the special board meeting, Rita didn't have the new construction estimates. So that's why her recommendation changed from 1.7 up to 2.15.
Because at the first meeting, we were not sure if that 12 million was in the new EAV numbers or not, and I was confirmed on Friday morning that it was not included. So there was a consensus on the board to go for the full 1.7% with the new AV on, that actually equals an increase of 2.15% to capture the.
Now I want to also explain that. So the levy is the amount of increase we're asking for from the assessor's office or the county that essentially allows them to reapportion what we get annually, but we don't get any more than we can under the cap.
Correct.
So oftentimes we ask for a little more, specifically so we capture the new growth. Otherwise, we lose really that new growth virtually forever in terms of our ability to capture those taxes. So in simple terms, what we're saying is we want everyone to pay their fair share so that the individuals who are moving into the community or where growth in construction impacts our tax base or our base EAV, that everyone's equally participating in our collections. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Thank you. It's only taken me 15 years to be able to explain that, but
Very eloquent. Yeah,
You have it.
Very
I saw that
eloquent.
written on your hand.
That means you've been through 15 tax levies, too.
I have been through 15 tax levies.
So, as you've already said, that's going to go down the line, but that's okay. But I do want to talk about also the uncapped two levies, which we have the special rec levy, which is uncapped, and that increase would be about 4%. That is due to, we have two known increases right now going on in special rec. One would be the special rec board passed a 1.5% increase in contributions down to all the participants. So we know that's going to be coming up next year. And we also have seen a very significant increase in our inclusion aid costs, which are aids that assist in assisting people that need assistance. And Jeff, can you please help me with this? 'Cause I can't say it right.
The inclusion services
Yes.
that are offered in our recreation programs.
So what do they do? You're better than I am.
Provides additional staff support for
Yeah.
those individuals who participate in those programs.
Because we've added,
One-on-one
like
aids.
enrichment and New Horizons, Kids Club, those kinds of programs are in high demand. You know, it's 9 months, could be every day of the week. So we have seen an increase due to some of those programs that we've added.
And we pay the cost of those aids rather than passing that on to Fox Valley Special Rec?
Do we what now?
We do.
Sorry.
We pay those inclusion aids rather than...
We get a bill from them every
We
month.
get a bill every month
With what,
on the number of aids that they supply us for our programs.
Yeah, to say that it's not capped is to say that it's not within the property tax extension limitation law, PTEL, which is also known as the tax cap. The tax cap is not everywhere in Illinois. It's only in certain counties, this being one of them. Where the tax cap is in place, the legislature recognized that the cost of having to provide inclusion services and facilities for persons with special needs is going to outpace what the cap would otherwise allow. So the legislature said, fine, we're going to impose all of the complex tax cap limitations on everything from taxation to borrowing to everything else. But we're going to allow in tax cap counties up to 4 cents to be levied specifically and only for services and facilities that are directly related to special needs and serving those communities. And so when we say it's not capped, there is a limit, it's 4 cents. And this district has historically only ever levied of the 4 cents what it needs year to year. Inclusion services are provided to the district as it's a member of the Fox Valley Special Rec. Fox Valley Special Rec hires those people. They bill us back for the services for our constituents. And the 4 cents is intended for us to help pay those costs and to improve our facilities to make them compliant so that they're accessible to everybody. So there is a limit, it's just not within the tax cap.
Thank you.
And the last part of the tax levy worksheet is bonds and interest. As we spoke in the special board meeting, staff suggestion is to issue $1.2 million of debt that is paid off within 2 years, but for the taxpayers, it is actually paid off in $600,000 and $600,000 increments. So it is only a $100,000 increase from what last year's total dollar was, plus a little incremental increase of interest as well. This $1.2 million will get us through the current year and through the stub year, the 8-month year that we've approved, and get us into 2015
4.
capital projects.
Thank you.
And we can save on issuance costs by bundling it into a 2-year.
Right.
Okay.
That's pretty much all I have.
So this was a levy update tonight. Are you?
Yes.
Do we need to?
I need direction from the board.
Consensus, right?
Consensus on if this is what you'd like to move forward with. I will write the levy for.
With staff recommendation. So it would be,
But the levy and the capital request are two separate things. We're only
Correct.
talking about the levy right now. You're informing us about the staff recommendation on the capital side. For the
Correct.
capital.
Because, but I also need some consensus too, because next month we will have to do.
I understand. I just need to know whether I
Sorry.
break it into 2 motions or 1 motion. So. Or,
It's up to you for clarity, it doesn't have to.
I don't have to? I can just use the memo as presented?
Okay.
So let's do this first. So I would entertain a motion to approve the levy projection and direct staff to prepare the 2013 levy request as well as the capital request per staff memo.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Tillman, second by Riley. Okay, now I'll open the floor for discussion. Any comments, questions? Now's the time to ask.
Just a technical matter, the memo is now subject to FOIA. So even
Okay.
though it's preliminary to the moment to go, it is now subject to FOIA. So if anybody at home wants to see that memo that was incorporated,
Sure.
they are welcome to it.
It's very well written.
like, we welcome people to inquire.
Anyone?
I don't have any questions.
I think we covered it pretty well in the workshops.
Yeah, I do too. I think you guys staff did a great job at the workshop, filling in the blanks and finding direction, so good work.
So I would just like to confirm that, because we are going to do public hearing next month, that I will also, I don't know if this needs to be motion
Then why are you doing a public hearing?
for the debt issuance.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about truth.
No, I was going off the side, because they've agreed upon this. To also in January, oh my gosh, in
December.
December. I will be, I will be working on the public hearing for the $1.2 million issuance as well.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, if there's no further discussion on this item, shall I please call the roll?
Tillman,
Aye.
Riley,
Aye.
Boyles,
Aye.
Gray,
Aye.
Callahan.
Aye, motion carries. All right. So next item on the agenda is 15B, award of the contract for, award of the bid for custodial service contract.
It's been a very long time since I have brought this to you folks, but the cleaning contract is now part of my responsibilities, and Amber Smith and I have been working together pretty closely on getting this ready. As the memo states, on the 5th, we took 8 bids, an interesting range of bids. The 3 low are listed. Total Facility Maintenance Incorporated, out of Wooddale is our low bidder at $48,302. My reference checking did not turn up any issues. They had been at the reference clients that they gave me as much as 10 years. They have been working here at the city of Batavia for between 8 and 10 years, I was told, and they are very satisfied with their work. We here as staff are all pretty much aware that there is always a transition time when you switch from one company to a next, and there's could be as much as 6 months getting them to do things the way we really want to do them, because we have some unique kinds of duties that have to be performed overnight, the cleaning of gym floors and things that aren't not exactly the same as cleaning an office building. So we're working very hard with them. They do have a lot of municipal clients, so they are used to working with the kind of heavy use buildings that we have. So I guess I would, any questions?
Do you have a sense as to what you're saving as opposed to doing this type of thing in-house? It's obviously contracting it out is.
I would have to give you an answer that is
Don't mean to put you on the
decades old
spot,
at
but-
this point. Yeah, we have not done that kind of math yet for quite a while. There was a significant savings. It was a full-time person, certainly at 48,000.
With benefits and.
Yeah, with all the benefits, et
Yeah,
cetera.
one person would be more than
The
that.
overhead, yeah, would come in at that, and wouldn't be able to really do the job that is done by the crew that comes in on a daily basis. We really have to do some working around, especially like the gym over at the other side gets cleaned with a machine, overnight, and it's done, and it's ready for the kids in the morning, and to be able to do that during the day, or have to have someone at night and then be supervised. There's just always a lot of things that goes into it. We really studied this pretty closely a long time ago, and this really seemed to be the way to do it.
Any other comments? Okay, so I entertain a motion to approve or to award the bid to the lowest responsive bidder, Total Facility Maintenance, Inc. of Wooddale, Illinois, for a sum of $48,302 for a term of
1 year.
1 year.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Tillman, second by Foils. Any further discussion? Shelley, please call the roll.
Tillman,
Aye.
Foils,
Aye.
Riley,
Aye.
Gray,
Aye.
Callahan.
Aye, motion carries.
I might add that, thank you for mentioning that, I should have done that. This is a 1-year contract, renewable for 1 more years, so there's a maximum of 3. There's an evaluation that's done at the end of the first year, second year, and we will be doing those. We're doing them a lot more often than once a year, but they will, hopefully you don't go back out after a year, but it can happen.
And I'm not trying to be punny, but we really did clean up the cleaning contract.
Oh, see? See what you did there?
Yes, you are.
I just.
She does that.
She does it all
Yeah,
the
she
time.
does it all the time. She meant to be punny.
All right, so next item on the agenda is item number 16, Fox Valley Special Rec. Any update?
Yep, Friday night is the Northern Nights Tree Lights fundraiser. We do have 3 openings at our table, so first come, first serve. If any of you are still interested, I know Commissioner Riley and his wife will be there, along with some of our staff members. So we do have a table reserved for the Batavia Park District, showing support for such a great foundation.
Great. Thank you. Okay. Next item on the agenda is executive session, so I would entertain a motion to enter into executive session 2C5 of the Illinois Open Meetings Act to discuss land acquisition. Is that correct? Land acquisition.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Tillman, second by Foils. Shelley, please call the roll.
Tillman,
Aye.
Foils,
Aye.
Riley,
Aye.
Gray. Aye. Callahan.
Aye, motion carries. We're going to go into executive session. Thank you very much for joining us this month. We will have no action after our executive session, so we will see you in December. Have a wonderful Thanksgiving.